Good morning to everyone present here today. I am Andrew Vincent Gomes, a first year student from MA Mass Communications program at the School of Communications, XIM Bhubaneswar. Today, on behalf of Dr. Father R. Uveri, SJ, Vice Chancellor, XIM University, Father S. Anthony Raj, SJ, Registrar, XIM University, Father V. Arukya Das, SJ, CFO, XIM University, and Dr. V. Vijay Kumar, Dean, School of Communications, XIM University, I take this opportunity of extending a warm welcome to our esteemed guest, Mr. Narayanan Vincent, who has an experience of over 25 years in advertising, media, and marketing communications. I would now like to invite Dr. V. Vijay Kumar to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. So I'll not take much time because our resource person will take lots of time because he has many things to share with you. So maybe 1 minute or max 1.5 minutes I may take. When we started discussing to have the academic industry interface talk 2, the second edition of this, I was discussing with professors, we should have somebody, a very senior person having lots of experience from advertising domain. So, and what I was saying, I really meant that. So we need somebody who can help us, help the students to know the nuances and matters related to advertising. As you all know, we always believe in bridging the industry and academia gap. So this entire idea of academic industry interface talk is to build the bridge the gap. So we reached out to Mr. Vincent, and when I was speaking to him, I said that, sir, we want you to talk about the basic idea of this talk, bridging the gap. That is the time he was also saying, yes, from university to the practice. I'll talk about it. That is what he said. Mr. Vincent is an avid reader. Like for the past 30 minutes, we were discussing about this reading and writing a lot. So he's an avid reader. That is the fuel for writing. So he's a copywriter, advertising strategists, managing lots of brands, and is having ample years of experience, 25 years plus. So this 1 hour or maybe 1.5 hours is going to be a time for lots of insights for you. Take notes, because on a regular basis he meet interns. On a regular basis he recruit people. And in the past 30 minutes of discussion what I was having with him, he was saying how he judge an intern or a new joinee and how he take them on board. So this session is going to be a session where you will get to know the tips or probably the matters which will lead you to be in practice. As you all know, okay, we believe in learning by doing. The School of Communication believe in learning by doing. So make sure that this academic industry interface talk make lots of sense for you. And I thank Mr. Vincent for accepting our invitation. He was having lots of scheduled appointment yesterday, and he managed to travel from Chennai to meet you all. And he was saying, these are the points I am going to speak, and it was very interesting to listen. So the next 1 hour, I am also going to take lots of insights from him. So thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Then I need to thank Dr. Padma Kumar, the member of Strategic Academic Advisory Board. Through him, we reached Mr. Vincent. Through him, we reached out to Mr. Vincent, and at this point of time, I like to thank him, and I thank Career Advisory Services Coordinator, Professor Arpita Saha, all the faculty members, administrative staff members, because I may not get a chance, okay, once again here in this place. Thank you everyone, and please keep your mind open for lots of learning. Best wishes. Thank you. Andrew?
Thank you, sir, for your words of encouragement. Now I would request Dr. V. Vijay Kumar to hand over the memento to Mr. Narayanan Vincent. Now, to introduce our resource person. Mr. Vincent is an award-winning copywriter, creative director, brand and strategic thinking specialist with an eye for innovation and off-the-rails thinking across above the line, below the line and digital platforms, and has worked with brands of all shapes and sizes, including Michelin Tires, Bajaj Auto, Hyatt Hotels, TVS Group, Royal Sundaram, Sri Ram Properties, Philips, Nutrient Sweets, Kisan Jams and plenty more. He presently leads Banana Brandworks in thought, strategic and creative leadership. He is also a strong crafter and driver of brand, marketing and creative strategies across verticals and domains, and has held various leadership positions for various advertising and media agencies across the country, shaping the path their brands should take. Mr. Vincent has also he's been enjoying rolling up his sleeves and wading into the slush of inhospitable markets and geographies to unearth precious consumer insights. Adding to it, he's a fabulous client relationship builder with the ability to pinpoint business needs and deliver innovative solutions. Sir is also a terrific script and songwriter, a responsible leader, great friend and mentor. As part of the giving back process, he teaches creative ideation, copywriting, creative writing, script writing, strategic thinking and brand management at various institutions in the southern part of India. He is also a people skills trainer, training high school, undergrads, postgraduate students in life skills. From time to time, Sir recharges his batteries, he travels, he treks, indulges in various sports, adventure sports, and is also an avid fiction reader, as Dr. V. Vijay Kumar previously mentioned. He is also a movie and music buff and does not go to bed without reading a few pages from a book. We are extremely lucky to have him here with us today. Thank you, sir, for being here with us today, and I would like to ask you to, take the podium and share your insights with us.
Andrew, thank you so much. Absolute pleasure to have heard you speak. Thank you, Professor. Really wonderful, absolute warm words of welcome to me. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. Okay. Last night when I flew in from Chennai, just to continue this little conversation that I had with Rashmi and with Andrew and with Carolyn, I think, outside. Yes. So I love to read, as I said. So I was reading on the plane, and I left my book, the book I was reading, novel I was reading, in the seat jacket before me. And the flight landed, and I got up. I took my bag, and I walked out of the plane, got into the waiting car, and I came to the university. Rashmi kept on calling me. That's when I realized that I had left my book in the plane. So I called up Indigo, called up customer care and told them, hunt down the book for me. Sir, it's just a book. I said, no. I would rather live without gold and silver, but not without a book. That lady, Pooja, who answered the phone, she said, sir, thank you so much. I'll make sure that you get the book. Reading is so important for media professionals like you. Reading is what has made me what I am today. Not just a writer, not just a creative thinker, not just a creative strategist, not just a brand strategist, but a professional who can make heads turn. Someone who can make brands walk the talk. And that is what all of you will be doing tomorrow, or at least some of you will be doing tomorrow, making brands walk the talk. How are we going to do that? So here, I've not come to talk about making brands walk the talk. I've come to talk about like what Professor said. You folks learn a lot, isn't it? There's so much academy teaches you. An institution like Xavier Institute of Management teaches you. You know, when I first started, or when I was doing my 12th standard, I actually wanted to be a journalist. I definitely wanted to be a writer, but I didn't know advertising existed then. And I wanted to go to Bombay, and I wanted to join Xavier Institute of Communications in Bombay. Because my dad said, hey, if you want to do journalism, go to XIC. So I applied, I got the prospectus and all of that, and somebody in my community came and told me about advertising writing. Hey, Vincent, why don't you take up advertising copywriting? You write so well, you're like full of ideas and all of that. So that's when I got into advertising writing, and I never looked back after that, and Xavier Institute of Communications had to wait. And then I started recruiting people from Xavier Institute of Communications, and now I've come a full circle. Where I wanted to study, I'm now coming and delivering a lecture. Absolutely fantastic. What you study here, what you learn here, will help you tomorrow. Definitely will. The kind of efforts I just went through the syllabus that you folks are, imbibing, learning here. But there's a lot of stuff that happens in the place of work tomorrow when you join. How many of you are UG out here? Raise of hands. That's about what, 80, 90 students, UG? 80, 90? How many PG? All right, so that's about 25, 30. Okay. PG, how many of you have come here with work experience? Two with work experience. Where have you worked? Bombay, Chennai, Delhi? Berhampur. What about you? Bombay. Okay. How many years have you folks worked? 2 years. What about you? 2 years. 1 year you worked. Okay. So 2 years and 1 year. I'm sure both of them will have a lot of experience of working for a corporate. I've come here to talk about the gaps that exist. I was doing an internship interview. Not an internship. I was doing a job interview of a young, very talented young person, about 4 years ago, 2018, 19, I guess. Very good writer, very good copywriter. He walks in and he shows me his work and all of that. I said, all right, nice, interesting. There are areas where you need to probably shape up a little bit. We can work together on that. No problem. Then he says, so what will be the salary? I look at him. I said, see, we're just half an hour into the interview and you're asking me the salary. It just doesn't work that way. Just doesn't work that way. There was another person who came in and said, 10 minutes, this young lady, very smart. So what are the working hours? I said, supposed to be 10:30 to 7:30. It can go on depending on work, midnight, all night. You don't know. So, but my mom said till 7:30, then you come back home. I said, yeah, the door is wide open. You can always go home. I wasn't rude to her. I told her very nicely. There are two things that is very important when you leave university and come to college and go to work. The first thing is never look at the clock. Especially when you are in the advertising, media, creative space. If you look at the clock, you stop. You don't walk the talk if you look at the clock. The clock will tick. Yes, you need to look at the clock for certain other things. How you manage time. How do you manage to do this amount of work in this amount of time? Yes, it's important. That's time management. That's a very different thing. When you have briefs coming at 5 o'clock and asking you to write a script or asking you to come up with an idea by next day morning, 10 o'clock, I need to see it on my table. You can't say, you know what, my friend asked me to come to one party, I have to go, sir, if you don't mind, can you please postpone it? Can I present it to you? You know, I need 24 more extra hours. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Deadlines have to be respected. And that's what a lot of people, lot of young people leaving university and coming into work, they just fail to experience. And when they experience this, they are completely shocked. Which leads me to the question: are you going to make me work night and day with 24 hours, 48 hours? No. No. Whenever required. I'm talking about passion. I'm talking about love. When you have passion, you don't look at the clock. When you love what you do, you never look at the clock. When you're in love with someone, have you ever looked at your watch? When you want to talk those sweet somethings to that person you love, have you ever looked at the clock? No, right? Same thing. Three important skill areas that you need to look at when you leave university. Soft skills, life skills, career skills. After speaking to Professor Vijay, I decided to change the flow of this particular session. Let me start with career skills. I had actually kept it to the last, but I'm going to start with career skills first. What are those most important career skills that you need to have when you leave university? The first thing, listening. Listen to the sounds. You're in your house, you're in your PG, you have rented a room, you are going to work. There's a cacophony of laughter emanating at 5:30 outside your room. And then there's a fight. Hey! Then there's a pump set. Listen to the sounds. Because can become a song tomorrow. That can be the song you write. Listeners make better speakers. Listeners make better writers. When you listen to the sound, you don't even know who. You might be on the third floor, you might be on the fourth floor, you might rush to the balcony and say, क्या हो रहा है यार? सुबह सुबह मूड को खराब करती मुझे. कौन ये झगड़ा कर रहा है नीचे? चल देख. कौन है वो? When you listen, you find, when you see, you find two ladies and one guy there sitting and quarreling, standing and quarreling on the road. And you're listening. All that you're listening are those very harsh voices. Something in what they say, something in what they said, kind of registers in your mind. It remains in your mind. 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. I promise you, that conversation that happened between those two women and that guy, which you heard in your balcony, from your balcony, will come back to you as a script. I promise you that. It will come back to you as an idea. When somebody is talking about branding, let's say a photographer. How many of you are into photography here? Photography, brilliant. So when you're shooting, let's say you have a client brief, and the brief says, hey, okay, for example, let me give you this example. When I was handling the Hindu newspaper, we did this complete campaign for them, which is an award-winning campaign. And if you go to the Banana website, it's there. The why, the what, the when, and the how. Okay. We shot in Kolkata. We shot in Chennai. We shot in Delhi. We shot in Mumbai. We shot in different places. Now, all that we wanted to shoot was people. Now, when I came up with the idea for that campaign, I only saw a black and white picture of this woman. That's all I saw. A woman who was sitting on the chair, reverse, so this is the backrest, so I'm sitting this side and I'm facing the audience. I remember that shot sometime 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I remember that shot, and that stuck in my head. It's nothing unusual. You see a lot of those kind of shots everywhere else. But then that particular shot remained in my head, and I used it as the platform for this campaign that we did for the Hindu. From there we took off, and that shot is there in the campaign. That was shot in Kolkata. I went to Kolkata, and I got this lady to don those lovely Bengali cotton sari, and I made her sit on that chair, and I told her to exactly look the way I wanted her to look, and she gave me such beautiful expressions, and we shot that. From there we took off. So I'm saying you never know when an idea that you see today will come back tomorrow to actually benefit you. You never know. So listen. Listen. Listen to the sound. Listen to the birds chirping. I was in Kerala for a holiday with my family 4 weeks ago. I had to take the break. I was just going a little off, so I took that break and I went. I came out of my room early in the morning. It was freezing. Munnar. I'd actually gone to Munnar. It was freezing, and I came out in the morning, and I heard this flute. I heard somebody play the flute. I thought, who is so crazy to be playing the flute at 6 o'clock in the morning? Who is this? I opened up. My wife and kids were fast asleep. I opened up. I came running out. I'm looking out. It's mist. It's covered with mist. Covered with mist. Oh, beautiful flute sounds. And I'm looking up at. I can't see a tree. I can't see a tree. I can't see anything. Then when the mist slowly dissipated, I see this black bird, which later I found out from the manager of the hotel is the whistling brush. She doesn't chirp, she sings. Like a flute. I want you to go to YouTube and just find out. That kind of hit me. I said, I'm going to use this in one of the songs that I write. Listen. It's so important. The second most important thing that you people need to remember is curiosity. Observe. Observe how Professor Arpita. Sorry, who's Arpita? Arpita, I'm so sorry. No, I just wasn't introduced, so I thought she was Arpita. She looked so much like Professor Arpita. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's this is the mental visualization. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Wonderful. It's an excellent topic. This is the mental visualization. Observe. Curiosity. What I observe now is wrong. I misjudged one with the other. But I observed. I was once traveling on a train from Chennai to Hyderabad with my dad. Okay? We were going to attend an aunt's whatever golden jubilee. There was in that compartment there were a lot of these Marwari women. There was a Marwari family sitting there, and you know how these any Marwaris here? All right, cool, no problem. So there were all these Marwari women. You know how they dress, right? So they wear all these saris and you know all of that, full bangles and all that. And they were sitting there and they were talking. They were the husbands sitting near the window. They were talking. The husbands wore printed shirt and oily hair and chewing pan. And the women, surprisingly, these two women, at least the one who was, the two who were sitting next to me, were talking beautiful English. And I was stunned. They were talking convent English. I said, what? I said, okay, listen, observe. Listen, observe. There was a sudden jerk, and the husband said something in Marwari, saying, why don't you take out the dinner? So this lady opened up. She bent below the seat. She took out a bag, and she pulled out a lunch, a huge tiffin box. And she pulled out, there were rotis and sabjis and all of that coming out one after another. Suddenly there was a jerk. The train sort of jerked, and this tiffin box fell down. The rotis fell down. Now, the husband said something. It was very embarrassing for the two women, because my dad was there and I was there, and there were others as well. One lady looks at the other lady and says, my God, why are these men like that? The two convent-educated Marwari women talking about their husbands. I was witness. I was young. I'm learning still. I was 26, 27 at that time, and I was learning still to write. Yes, I was already a copyhead at that time, but still, there was a lot of learning. Now, that little incident stuck to me like a leech on your forehead when you have a temperature. It stuck to me like a leech. Even today, it's so clear. It's so clear after all these years. And I used those two women in one of my films. Not in the same situation, but I used them the way they dress, the way they speak. And I use the men as well. Observe. Be curious. Be curious. It's very important. There's nothing wrong. If you're walking on the road and you see a beautiful girl, look at her. There's no problem at all as long as you look at her with, sorry? Absolutely. I was standing in the bus stop one day. I was watching. I was waiting. I was waiting for a bus, and a lot of women and men standing there, children as well. And there's this beautiful woman walking past. She's wearing. I still remember she was wearing a beautiful red sari, and she was wearing those lovely earrings, sashing the hair, and she's walking past the bus. So we're all standing here. I am standing. I'm tall, right? So I was at the back. The women before me, what a CT scan won't do, they will do 30 seconds. All it needs is 30 seconds. And the women in the bus stop scanned her from head to foot. What she was wearing, what earrings, what bangles, what sari, what pattern, what heels. 6 inches, 1 inch. Is this a stool or a ladder? What is she standing? What is she walking on? That is the kind of scanning that happens. And then they go home, look at themselves in the mirror, and say, am I beautiful or is she? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most beautiful of all? I used this in one of my campaigns. Observe, be curious. If your father tells you, hey, why are you going on looking at the girl? It's not with that intent. Why are you going on looking at that man? He's so fat and ugly. Ma, it's all right. Please, it's part of my work. Part of your work, looking at men, ugly men? Part of your work? What's wrong with you? Curiosity. Nobody is going to find you. Nobody is going to hold you up and chain you and beat you up and say, why did you look at that ugly man or that beautiful woman or whoever? Because you are seeing because it interests you. You are seeing because it has made an impression on you. It is making an impression on you. And that impression will serve you sometime in your lifetime, in your career. Curiosity, observe. Wherever you go, don't let it stop you. Don't let anybody stop you from saying, don't look. Whether you're on the bus, whether you're on the plane, whether you're on a bullock cart, whether you're on a train, whether you're walking, whether you're in a rickshaw, whether you're on a cycle, don't let anybody tell you don't look. It's your body. It's your decision. It's your eyes. It's your mind. It's your ears. God has given you that abundantly. Use it. When you stop it, when you curb those natural instincts that you have, that you possess, you are stopping yourself from growing. When you stop looking, you are stopping to grow. When you stop listening, you are stopping to grow. When you're sitting tomorrow when you're going to work, Your first job, your second job, you're called for a brainstorming meeting. 5 of you gather in the room, 6 of you gather in the room, and you're brainstorming an idea. Your boss gives a brief. Acha, listen, guys, this is brand that we're going to launch. It's a watch, and we're going to compete against Titan. This is the positioning, blah, blah, blah. This is what Titan has been doing all these years, and this is what we need to do. This is what the market research stats tell us. These are the numbers. This is the audience, therefore, that we need to look at. Let's brainstorm. 2 minutes later, brainstorming starts, and 2 minutes later, hey, one person looks at the other person, hey, what are we brainstorming about? Listen. It's so important to listen, even to small things, because that is what your employers tomorrow are going to look for in you. How attentive you are. Can you catch those minor details? Can you look for those little things? Those are the insights that you need, whether you're a writer, whether you're a designer, whether you're a strategist, whether you're a photographer, whether you're a music director, anything in media. Those are the little things that you need, that people will be, that your employees, that your bosses, your managers will be looking at from you. They're not going to look at you and say, hey, MBAs, masters, great. Yes, that helps. Xavier Institute of Management helps, definitely helps. Without a doubt, it helps. It's one of the premier institutions in the country. It helps. What value can you bring to the table? What value can you bring to my table? What value can you bring to our table? Those are the very many things that employers expect. The first is listening. Second is observing, curiosity. Third one, reading. Today, sadly, reading has fallen. Sadly, it's fallen. I'm not saying read fiction. Robin Sharma, the monk who sold the Ferrari, or somebody else writes saying how to be a billionaire in 6 months and 2 months. No, those are non-fiction. You can read all that. I'm saying read fiction. Stories. Why am I saying that? Can anybody tell me why am I saying read? First of all, read. Secondly, read fiction. Can anybody tell me? Just feel free. Don't worry about it. Yes, please. Lovely. What's your good name? Mega. Are you in first year or you're PG? Third year. Absolutely. Fantastic. Give her a big hand. Helps in visualization. What else does it do? What else does it do? Apart from visualization. It's a lovely point that Mega pointed out. Yes. Absolutely brilliant. What's your good name? Purabi. Where are you from? Visakhapatnam. Where are you from, Mega? Kolkata. Mega and Purabi. How right they are. How right they are. As much as they are right, there's one very important thing that reading does to you, or should do to you, if you read more and more. Yes, one is knowledge. Definitely, without a doubt, it's knowledge. You need the knowledge. The most important thing is, If you can read a story, you can tell a story. Media and communications is all about telling stories, whether it's on a website, whether it's a blog, whether it's a script, whether it's a photo shoot or a photography campaign that you're doing, whether it's a song that you're writing, whatever that you're doing, remember to tell stories. Telling stories is an art that has been forgotten, or that's being forgotten, because people don't read. People just don't read today. They're all the time online. I get up in the morning, message tones and message tones and message tones and message tones. Social media has taken away our lives, which is, I'm not saying no to social media. We need to use social media. We definitely need social media. Without, otherwise we'll all die. But then can we delay the death? Can we delay the death a little more? Can we enjoy the moments? Why smell? Go to a bookshop and pick up a book and smell the paper. It's like coffee, aroma. It wakes me up. It definitely wakes me up. So yesterday when I lost that book on the plane, I'm just hoping that I get the book back. Half of my life died with me. I love to smell that. When you read, you learn to write. You learn to think. You learn to visualize. You see the characters. Imagine J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. How many of you read Harry Potter? Just imagine Harry Potter, when she wrote Harry Potter, and when you started reading Harry Potter, and you see Harry Potter flying on this broomstick, didn't you visualize it? You could actually see him flying without even seeing the film. Look at Lord of the Rings. Or look at Salman Khan singing songs running around a tree. Or look at Shah Rukh. You visualize. Or Rajinikanth. You visualize. Kamal Hassan. You visualize. You get into the character. You let the character get into you. When you let the character get into you, you start speaking like them. When you start speaking like them, you know who they are, you get into their shoes, and tomorrow you know what to write and who to write it for. I was doing this film for Bajaj. We were launching this bike, and the script had a bunch of hens crossing the road. The location was the script was approved. We went to the shoot location. We got a farmer to bring his pen of hens, about 100 of them, to cross the road. So the director calls action, but the hens don't cross. They cock, 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 but they're not crossing. They're not walking. Usually hens walk, right? They walk, they scamper. Unfortunately, that day, those hens don't walk. Time is running out. We are going after them. Go, 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 run. They're going somewhere else. The camera's there. They have to run across the road, but they're not. We lost about an hour and a half. So what do we do? Immediately, we see a farmer leading a bunch of ducks. Heaven sent, God sent. A bunch of ducks are coming, and I just see it. I go running to the farmer. It's my script, right? I tell him, Sab, आपका ये बतख जो है दे देंगे हमें. किस लिए चाहिए आपको? नहीं, वो थोड़ा शूटिंग करना है, पैसा दे देंगे हम, पैसा दे देंगे हम, शूटिंग करना है थोड़ा. हाँ हाँ, लेके चलो. So we used the ducks to cross the road, and they did such a marvelous job. They behaved so well. If it's a cross, quack 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 quack. They just went, and we shot, and we had the Bajaj, the bike coming and applying the brakes just when the ducks crossed the road. That was the scene, but the hens went the other way. What has this got to do with reading? It's a visualization. It helps in visualization. It helps you in taking decisions. If the hens don't walk, get something else that will fit into the script without a problem. Reading, 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 reading. Even if you don't like it, make an effort to read at least a simple book, an easy book. The other most important things that you need to look at, apart from listening, observing, reading, knowledge, which again comes through reading. But knowledge also happens when you watch a lot of things. Watch movies as much as you can. Watch documentary films, whatever you want, watch it. Because when you have the knowledge, when you have the listening skills, when you have curiosity, when you have reading as a habit, all of them get siphoned into one particular area. Passion. That's another very, very important career skill that you need to have. Passion. It's not a skill per se, but it's something that comes from within, from inside your belly, from your stomach. Passion. The passion to do what you want to do, what you like to do. And advertising, marketing, communications, media, creative, filmmaking, cinematic, whatever, music direction is all about passion. A.R. Rahman wouldn't be A.R. Rahman without passion. When does he record? He doesn't record like other music directors in the morning. He records in the night. Anu Malik flies all the way from Dubai or from Bombay. A.R. Rahman tells Anu Malik, hey, subah 8 baje aa jao. So Anu Malik takes an early morning 5:30 flight, and he lands up in Chennai, goes to A.R. Rahman's studio, and he waits from 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock in the evening. And then Rahman comes in at 9 o'clock and says, Anu, hi, shall we record? What was Rahman doing the whole day? Was he sleeping? He was. Because he was working the earlier night right through, and then he gets up and he makes some changes to the instrumentation, to the notes, to whatever. And then Anu Malik comes there and he sings. Sonu Nigam. Sorry, did I say Anu Malik? Sonu Nigam. Sonu Nigam, sorry, it's not Anu Malik. Sonu Nigam. Like that. Look at all the successful creative people today, all the successful media people today, all the successful advertising people today. It's all about passion. If you don't have the passion for this industry, you cannot survive. If you don't have passion, you'll look at the clock. If you don't have passion, you'll ask, how much am I going to earn, sir? What are you going to give me? I'm an XIMB postgraduate. This is what I expect. How much are you going to give me? That's what comes with passion. Without passion. With passion, it's not what you're going to earn today. My dear young friends, it's not what you're going to earn today. It's about what you're going to earn 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. And what is that? A name. Who's Rashmi? Who's Megha? Megha is this, Rashmi is this, Andrew Vincent is this. With name comes fame. With fame comes money. Money falls into place. You go chase monies now. You will earn. But you'll break down. You'll crumble like cookies. Because all that you want is money. There's plenty of money that can be made here. Listen. You've decided to take up media and communication. You've decided to take up advertising, marketing, communication. You're doing graphic design. You're doing cinematography. You're doing photography. Every day, I get photographers sending me their work. Sir, this is the latest shoot I've done. This is the latest shoot I've done. Can you please take me in for your next project? Why should I take them? But tell me why. I'll only take them if they're good in their work, not what they charge. And for you to be good in their work, you have to exhibit it. That's what employers see. Show it to me that you're good in your work. Show it to me. Show it to me. How can I show it to you, sir? In the way, in what you write, in what you design. Show it to me. That's the gap that we're looking at here. That's the gap that we're looking at here. That little extra that we need to spend to meet, not just meet expectations, industry's expectations, but to go beyond your own expectation. To be the driver. Do you want to be the passenger? Do you want to be a passenger or a driver? Look at the bus. Look at the bus. Look at the driver sitting in a bus. What does he do? He's driving, right? And what are the people behind doing? They're just traveling with him. What is the driver doing? He's taking them on a journey. He knows the potholes on the road. He knows the bumps. He knows the cows. He knows everything on the road because he gets a very good view. And he leads. That's why he's a driver. The rest of them are passengers. Do you want to be a passenger or do you want to be a driver? What do you want to be? What do you want to be? Ask yourselves this question. And that is the gap that we're looking at. If I remember this young lady from NIFT Hyderabad. Her name is Varshini. I'm very proud to take her name here. 4th year. She's doing fashion design, fashion communication, fashion design. As part of the 4th year internship, it was a 4-month project, and she applied along with a bunch of others. And I do interviews. I do the personal interviews myself. She applied, and I took her on call. And 1.5 hours later, I decided, all right, she's good. Let's take her on an internship. So I took her, and what a great decision I made, because she comes in, she's already done fashion design, the 1st year internship. 2nd year, she did something else. 3rd year, she did graphic, no, 3rd year, she did some fashion communication. Graphic design is something that she hadn't done. So she came to Banana, she came to Chennai, she worked with us, she lived, we helped her get a room nearby, she lived there, and she did graphic design internship with us, 4 months. The kind of work that she did was phenomenal. Even she did not know that she was capable of that kind of work. When she saw us doing this kind of work, it simply propelled her. There's something that some kind of magic that happened within her, that she started manifesting, she started showing her true colors, and the kind of work that came out was brilliant. We gave her a cash incentive, we gave her a cash prize. We called everybody in the organization and said, this is Varshini, look at the kind of work that she's done. Then she went to France to do her PG at University of Marseille or Lyon, I don't know where, one of the two. She's doing so well. When she was doing her internship with us, this is a story I heard. Oh my God, this man, Vincent, Jesus. 1.5 hours for interviewing an intern. Till date, she tells me that 1.5 hours of interview that you had with me, kind of changed me a lot. The kind of questions you asked for a person who didn't know anything about industry, or what to expect, kind of prepared me. Employers look for a whole lot of things when you come into work. Whole lot of things. All of what I said, here's the most important thing that you need to possess. Who can sing here?
Check, check.
What do you sing? English, Hindi? Can you sing us one of your favorite numbers? Just a few lines also.
Check. कहते हैं खुदा ने इस जहां में सभी के लिए किसी ना किसी को है बनाया, हर किसी के लिए तेरा मिलना है इस जग का इशारा मानो. Something like that. I forgot.
Lovely. What's your good name?
Ananya Emmanuel.
Ananya Emmanuel Kandulna. And where are you from? Absolutely brilliant. You've got a lovely, mesmerizing voice. Do you know why I asked him to sing? Take a wild guess. Can anybody tell me why I asked him to sing? This young man out here, such a lovely voice. Why did I ask him to sing? Stage fright. He doesn't have one bit of it. Please go sit down. Fearlessness. How do you conquer fears? When you take the stage without batting an eyelid. I called him out. I asked who can sing. There were 4 raise of hands, 4 hands that raised, 4 or 5 that raised, and I asked him to come. He just came. He never said no. And that's what employers are looking for. Fearlessness. When you are scared, when you have fear, when you have apprehensions flowing down your spine, you will never, ever be confident. And when you're not confident, you will not speak. You will not listen. You will not observe. So all that I said, now it's coming down. I'm just funneling it to you. Listening, observing, curiosity, reading, knowledge. All of that is coming down to fear. It's not easy to be confident all the time. He's a brilliant example of being fearless. I used to sing very well, even now I sing, in school, when they asked me to sing, I still remember I was in St. Beach, Chennai. So I was in 10th standard. Though I had a very good voice, I don't know, when they put me on stage, I used to get very nervous. So now, there was a podium like this, and it was hollow in between. So I went and stood inside, and the mic is here, and my voice is shivering. But then, as I'm singing, there's another musical note accompanying me. Taka, kataka, 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 kataka. It's my knees banging the side walls of the podium. I was so nervous. That's when I realized. When I came into college, how do you eliminate fear? How do you jettison fear away from your life? You do that when you do the small things well. The little things well. If your mother says, don't do this, or if your father says, kya kar rahe ho yaar? Or your friend says, abe, kya be? So next time you think, oh, my friend will say this, my dad will say this, my mom will say this, my professor will say this. If you keep thinking what your professor, what your mom, what your father, what your friend, what the rickshaw wala tells you, you're not going to get anywhere. Actually do it. When you actually do it, you believe in it. You believe in yourself. You start believing in yourself. When you start believing in yourself, fear goes out of the window. When fear goes out of the window, performance comes. When your boss tomorrow calls you, Mega, Karthik, Vincent, come over to my room. अबे बॉस क्यों पूछ रहा है यार? अबे आना यार, मुझे डर लग रहा है यार. He's not going to have you for dinner, man. Come. Sir. Don't be servile. So you called us? Be confident. I remember going for one of my major presentations, TVS group, okay? We were meeting the MD Shobana Ramachandran and her brother Dinesh, okay? These were the people who have built TVS, right? We were launching their new tires. TVS, Sri Chakra tires was launching a new product. It was called ATT 100, all-terrain tire 100 for 100cc motorcycles. So we basically came up with the name, and we designed the logo and the mnemonic, and we did the campaign. So we are going to present the campaign. Shobana Ramachandran is like Jay Lalita. She's like Jay Lalita. She's big. She wears those large saris. She comes and sits like a matron. Oh my God, looking at her, something happens to you. You become nervous. That's what happened to me. Now, the campaign that we did for TVS tires, for ATT 100, was the tire had buttons on its tread. The tread pattern had a lot of buttons. It was meant to make your bike get a good grip on the road as you ride. It is meant for young people, right? So we said, we converted the buttons into a benefit. We said motorcycle tire with teeth. TVS presents the motorcycle tire with teeth, ATT 100. And we showed a gorilla with the teeth coming out. And we showed a shark with the teeth coming out. The motorcycle tire with teeth. We have to present it, right? It's a very good campaign. Everybody loved it in the office. I spent sleepless nights working on it with my team. And Shobana is sitting there. She comes in late. When she comes in, everybody gets up. I'm like, what? These are general managers, vice presidents, senior vice presidents. I looked at my boss and said, why are they so servile? Why the servitude? Why are we as a society like this? Vincent, shut up. You ask too many questions. I asked you one question. Don't ask. We've come here for a purpose. Let's get that. Now, if you ask too many questions, we will lose the business that we're coming to get. She came, she sat, and I presented. My team and I presented, my boss presented. And we got the account. She loved it. The point I'm trying to make is servitude, servile. Fear comes when you exhibit servility. Fear comes. I'm not saying you should be arrogant. I'm not saying you should be assertive. That's what employers are looking at. Employers are looking at a confident young person. Rashmi comes and says, good morning, sir. The way she was the whole of yesterday, the whole of day before yesterday, she kept sending me messages. I loved it. Professor Arpita told me that she'll be connecting with me, but before she could tell me that she was connecting, Rashmi was already connecting with me. She was one step ahead. Somebody with about 25, 26, 27 years of experience, like me, can instill fear in young people. Can. It's in your mind. It's not in my mind. I love to put my hand around your shoulders and work with you guys. I love to sing songs and dance till the cows come home. No problem. But it's what's inside your mind, what's inside your head. How do you look at, oh my God, that white bearded guy, oh Jesus, no, move. He's got too much knowledge, macha. Don't. Keep away. You are self-inflicting humility. You are not humility. You are self-killing yourself. Don't do that. Fearlessness. Get away from fear. That's the most important thing among the many that I've said. These are career skills that you really require when you go out there in the marketplace. So important. It might seem very common. Arey, I have a degree, yaar. Who's to tell me what I want, what I should do? It's not easy. It's not so easy. When you're making a presentation tomorrow, your boss is not there. And everybody's looking at you. Your boss was supposed to have done it, but that morning he had a very bad stomach, or she had a bad stomach and she couldn't make it. And she says, Rashmi, do it. Megha, do it. Andrew, do it. Ananya, do it. Is Andrew Vincent going to say, oh my God, do it, man? You grab the bull by the horns. That is an opportunity not to be wasted. If you have to make heads turn, you grab the slightest, the smallest, the tiniest, the most minuscule of opportunities that come your way. Because when you make that presentation before a team of 10, 20, 30 people, you are making a lot of heads turn. You're making people talk about you. We all need that little PR. More than that, we need that confidence. When we do one, the next time comes. Next time, you will automatically, that's what bosses want. The bosses want you, managers want you to step ahead and say, raise your hands and say, I will do that. Not sit at the back. हाँ जी बताइए. हाँ कर दूंगी. हाँ कर दूंगा. Not going to work. Not going to work. I never call out for people. Harish, I want you to do it. Gayatri, I want you to do this. Megha, I want you to do this. I present it. Who will do this? Immediately raise of hands. Megha will say, I'll do this. I didn't get your name, sorry. Purabi. Purabi will say, I'll do this. What's the time, sir? There's a lot of time. Fearlessness, right? Now, these are career skills as far as which are extremely important. Now comes the most important and another very important thing. All of us have these expectations, right? I've already spoken a little bit about money and things like that. Those are unrealistic expectations. What if I tell you there were unrealistic expectations? I'll give you an example. There's a very prominent art school in India. I'm not going to take the name. So they sent us, or they wanted us to take interns, design interns. Okay? They wanted us to give them a stipend. We don't give stipends. You know why? Because when you come for internships, we are spending time with you to train you. It's not like management. You're learning to write copy. You're learning to ideate. You're learning to think. You're learning to design. You're learning to visualize. You're learning to write a script. You're learning to strategize. And we are sitting with you and training you and working with you. Why should we pay? You should be paying us. Right or wrong? You should be paying us for the time that we spend with you. Why should we be paying you? A lot of people misinterpret this. Oh no, sir, without stipend we won't be able to work. All right, so only for those exceptional students we give. The point I'm trying to make is the universities or the respective institutions also say, okay, this is the kind of expectation this is the kind of salary you can expect when you join. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. Even the biggest, the Ogilvies and the Lowe's and the Leo Burnett's and all of them, it's a decent salary. I'm not saying it's absolutely pitiful. No, it's a decent salary, but it's not what you expect, because they are going to observe what you can do, what you bring to the table, the skill sets that you bring to the table, not the degrees behind your name. What have you learnt? What can you do? That's what they expect you to do. Prove yourself in 3 months, in 6 months. This is what we can give you. You prove it. Prove that you are capable, that you can do this campaign beautifully. When you have the passion, which is what I said right in the beginning, when you have the passion, you'll never look at the clock. When you have the passion, you'll never look at monies. Because when you start doing your work, people are going to look at not you, but at the work that you've done. Oh my God, who did this? Ananya did this. Wow, man, this is so good. So during lunchtime, अच्छा वो जो social media campaign है ना, वो अनन्या के दे दो, अनन्या को दे दो, वो अच्छा कर रहा है वो लड़का, वो अच्छा है. You won't know this. This is the talk that will happen behind the scenes by your bosses and your managers, because they've observed something of you that you yourself do not know, because you just focused on passion. I'm saying this out of experience. This is what I do. I don't look at beautiful looks. A lot of beautiful women come. A lot of handsome guys come. No. Who's bothered about how you look? We are bothered about what you bring to the table. We are bothered about what you bring to the table. Career skills. So those are the unrealistic expectations we have. When there is fire in your belly, मैं जल जाऊंगा सर, वो नहीं है. When there is fire in the belly, it comes out in work. It comes out in the way you collaborate. I will come to those points now. You do have a soft skills section here. People, I'm sure you have lecturers, professors talking to you about soft skills. But I'll tell you how soft skills work here. I'll try and draw relations to it. Soft skills are so important, extremely important when you work in a corporate. Extremely important. The first most important thing that you need to have is time management. When I say look at the clock, don't look at the clock, I'm saying you need to be very passionate, but at the same time, there was this client in my early days as a writer, as a young writer. I was that full energy writer. My boss was on leave. He had malaria. I didn't know that. I had come to office. There were other writers, but my super boss, my big boss, the MD, suddenly called me and said, I went in. Vincent, I want you to meet Mr. B.V. Reddy. He is the chairman and managing director of Nutrient Sweets. And Nutrient Sweets, at that time, of course now it's sold out, at that time was very, very big. It's like Paris and Cadbury's. They're launching a new toffee. It's called Chumma Chumma. It's an LIG bar. Okay? I want you to write a 10-second commercial, a radio commercial for it. I'm like shitting bricks. Sorry? 10 seconds. Sir, you have to tell a story in 10 seconds. Okay, sir. Well, when do you want it? Tomorrow, day after? Now. And Mr. B.V. Reddy. Kar payega? Karuna. You know that very eerie laughter? Kar payega? I'm like, holy moly. But a little bulb burned in my head. I looked at the opportunity. I said, okay. And then I said, okay, sir, I'll do it. What's the brief? LIG, Chumma Chumma, it's a 1 rupee toffee bar. It's filled with LIG. So I said, okay, and I left. I'm still young, I'm only 25, and I'm young, and I left. But then he calls me, Vincent, I have this song in my mind. You know this old Bar Bar Dekho song? Bar Bar Dekho, Hazar Bar Dekho. Use that. I love it. B.V. Reddy also likes it. Use that and you make a jingle. Okay? So I went and sat on Holy Mother. Now he's telling me about this most famous song and I have to use that tune and write the jingle in 10 seconds with the USBs. Oh, how am I going to do it? I went to the conference room. I sat down there. I was about to I went to the landline. I wanted to call my boss, but just then I heard boss was down with malaria. Oh, that's why he's not come. Okay, fine. I sat down. I don't know what happened. I looked at the opportunity. I said, opportunity, use it. I opened the window. I looked out, had a smoke. Now I don't smoke. Those days I used to smoke. I had a smoke and suddenly something hit me. Bar bar dekho, ye naya bar dekho. ये न्यूट्रिन चुम्मा चुम्मा है, ये न्यूट्रिन चुम्मा चुम्मा इलायची बार टांग न्यूट्रिन इलायची बार अब 1 रुपए में. I went with that. They heard me sing, they made me sing again and again and again. I thought they're taking my pants off. But they loved it. They said, man, Forget the radio. Let's do a film. Time. How you manage time within the resources available, with limited opportunities available. That is time management. Not what you do in 2 hours, what you can do in 2 hours in just 5 minutes. That is not time management. That is irresponsibility. It's so important. I can give you hundreds of examples like this. Time management is so important. This can happen when you have the passion, the fire in the belly. Fire in the belly, run. There's fire in the belly, run. There's fire in the belly, run. Don't stop, but keep running. Fire in the belly. That can bring, that is passion. And when that happens, Bar Deko can happen in 5 seconds. The second most important skill that you need to have is adaptability. These are soft skills. Adaptability. Can somebody tell me what is adaptability skill? Adaptability. Can somebody tell me what is adaptability? Yes. Yes, Rashmi. Fantastic, Rashmi. Awesome. Nice. Yes. Did you hear what she said? Adaptability, she says, is to fit in. You might have certain conceptions. You might have conceptualized certain things in certain ways. But then the industry demands something else. How quickly you fit in, you adapt. You might have had a long headline in mind to write. But then her boss said, hey, we don't want stories here. Keep it short, keep it crisp. Adapt. But there'll be other places, there'll be other managers, there'll be other bosses who will say, tell me a story. Tell me a story. What are you writing, man? 4 words. 4 words. So Facebook is telling 4 words. Facebook को बाहर में जा यार. कथा लिखो, कथा. Tell me a story. Advertising, marketing, marketing, communications, media, creativity is all about telling stories. How you say it. Short, long. How you say it. Say it even without anything. I'll tell you. Okay. I didn't want to use my laptop. I didn't want to use the PPT because you are used to PPTs every day, and I didn't want to trouble you with all that technology. So I just let me make it interactive. Here's this visual of Spider-Man. Spider-Man lying on the floor. He's dead. Okay? But you're not seeing Spider-Man's body fully. You're seeing his hand lying out, and the other part is behind a wall. So that's the camera angle, right? So the camera angle has the hand of Spider-Man lying on the floor, and his body, if you can do a Google, it's there on the net. And Spider-Man's body is covered behind the wall, and at the bottom right, there's no headline, there's no copy, nothing. It's just a beautiful visual. And at the bottom it says, Baygon, kills almost everything. Baygon, it kills almost everything. And what are they showing? Showing Spider-Man. I could have shown it to you. I'm not showing it to you because I want you to visualize it. Because tomorrow you're going to do what I'm doing now. You're going to stand before an audience and you're going to present it to them. You're going to make them imagine what you're imagining. That's what Baygon did. It's a famous award-winning Cannes Lions award-winning campaign by BBDO Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. These are the things that you need to bear in mind when you go to the industry, when you start working. It is so important. What is Spider-Man and Baygon got to do with adaptability? When you adapt quickly, look at the cheetah. Look at the cheetah. Simple example, look at the cheetah. You see a deer galloping and the cheetah chasing, suddenly cheetah, you see the rudder of the cheetah, right? You see the tail. It helps the cheetah turn, make her so agile and chase that deer. Adaptability, agility. When you adapt, when you're agile, you quickly understand the brief. And you know what, your creative juices just keep coming out. Adaptability is so important. You start working. There's a brief on your table. The brief comes in at about 12 o'clock. You're supposed to deliver it in the evening. They say, Rashmi, this is very urgent. I'm sorry, I'm just going on taking Rashmi's name. What is your good name? Shashwat. Okay, Shashwat, this is very urgent, Shashwat. Just get it done. I need it by 7. 7? But you don't say it. You are scared. You just nod your head and you go. Shashwat goes away. Then he starts talking to his, boss has said 7 o'clock, man. How am I? I've already planned something. My mom is waiting. My brother is waiting. Your boss is also waiting. Your company is also waiting. The brand is waiting for your skills. Choose what you want. Yes, you need to have a work-life balance. I'm not saying no to it. Yes, you need to have work-life balance. You can't be working, slogging all the time. You definitely need to have work-life balance. But choose your battles. In your young, this is your stepping stone, Shashwat. Megha, everybody else. This is your stepping stone. When an opportunity comes, you don't say no. When the boss has said 7 o'clock, if you can deliver it at 6:45 and then go, it'll be fantastic. Sir, but idea not coming, sir. The creative, it's difficult. It is difficult. I'm not saying no to it. Especially at a young, tender age as you guys are, it is very difficult. I used to write, copy, think ideas in a puncher shop. I used to have a Hero Puck, one of those old bikes. Super thing will break down when I climb a flyover. I don't know why. And I have to push it right on top of the flyover. Thankfully, then from there it's one downward slope and I used to come down, But as I'm pushing it, my mind will be ticking. Ideas will just be flowing in my head for a campaign that I had in mind. And I go home quickly, or I go to the office quickly, and I write it down. How you adapt. Late nights. Please understand this. The expectations of your managers, of your bosses, of your colleagues when you get to work will be so much that you don't even expect. You might have to spend late nights. I remember there's this girl called, what's her name? Abhinaya. She came from Stella Maris College, Chennai, School of Art. She came for her internship. She was brilliant. So we recruited her. We gave her a salary. She was overjoyed. The first day, her mom calls at 8 o'clock. Sorry, 7 o'clock. Calls me. Sir, my daughter Abhinaya, she's not left, is it? So yeah, she's still here. So, but working hours are till 7:30, no sir? Yes. So is this how you're going to work? I said, it's not how we are going to work. This is not how we work. This is the expectation. We have deadlines and we'll have to finish it. Now your daughter has grown up. She can take her call, she can take decisions. So I told her very politely, as a parent, please, your duty is done. Now it's her life to take a call when she wants to work, how much she wants to work. If deadlines have to be met, you have to stay back. And that was a lesson that she learned that day. Today she's in California doing her master's. After 2 years of working with us, the work that she did with us was so good that she straight away went and got herself admitted in for a PG program, illustration in California. How you adjust and adapt to time, to situations, that is so important. You can't say, I have a degree and you pay me so much, I'll only work from this time to this time, so I'm going to work. Because you are all the time, sorry for using this word, judging. I don't judge, but you're being watched. You're being watched. Because we are paying you. We're paying you for the talent that you bring to the table. So you better pull up your socks and you have to deliver. We are here to guide you. We are here to put a hand over your shoulder, mentor you. Interpersonal skills, communication skills are so important. I see a lot of people email writing. Please make that tomorrow when you start working, you will be sending emails from amongst your colleagues. You will be sending out emails. I see a lot of emails with a PFA. You open it, it's a PFA. I used to wonder what was PFA. I didn't know. With all these years, many years in the industry, I used to wonder, PFA? I used to call, what PFA? Please find attached. Is this the way you write? Sir? Is this the way you write? PFA. Where's the salutation? Dear Vincent, as per our discussion that we had, I have worked on a few ideas. I've had to put them in a Word document. Please find them attached. Don't just say PFA. What do you want me to go open it and find out? Oh, this is what I told her to do and now she's done it. Holy moly, it doesn't work that way. Etiquette, it's so important. Social etiquette. Communication skills is so important. Are we running out of time? Okay. What is the time now? 12:10. How much time do we have for questions? About 20 minutes. 12:30, right? 10 minutes only. All right. There's quite a lot actually. Never mind. Okay, so like Andrew Vincent said, these are so many things that you need to learn. I tell you, this is endless. It'll take another 1 hour, 2 hours to talk. There are the soft skills, there are life skills that you need to look at. Right? So there are career skills that you need to look at. So there's a lot of expectation from you. All you need to do is just look at those first 7 or 8 points that I mentioned. Just focus on them. The rest of it will just fall into place. Email, I'll just quickly run them through before we get to the next part. So behavioral skills, collaboration, teamwork is so important, right? Persuasive skills, like what I'm doing now. Making presentations, that's how you persuade, that's how you sell. It's so important for you guys to sell tomorrow. Persuasive skills, presentation skills. Now when it comes to life skills, there's some very, very good life skills that you need to take. Decision making is one very important life skill. You have problem solving. You have peer pressure. It's a very, very important life skill, peer pressure. Hey, uska pata hai, kitna salary hai uska? My God, that fellow has bought, a nice car, yaar. I must also buy. Peer pressure. Those are things, creative thinking, critical thinking, anger management. Your bosses, your managers will make your life miserable sometimes with your deadlines and all those requests. You might get angry. What kind of a boss? Why should I join here, man? I will resign. I'll go somewhere. I'll go join somewhere else. Anger management, life skill. You need to look at that. Leadership capabilities. Leadership capabilities. These are among the many things that you need to really look at. Okay, thank you very much. I really wish I had more time, but that's all right. Any questions? Please ask me. I'll be very extremely glad to answer. Thank you. Any questions? If you don't have, then I'm sure you have something there. It could be about careers. It could be about anything. It need not be about what I took today. Yes.
Sir, I'm Deep Sen Gupta from first year mass communication. Sir, when we are writing scripts, we usually have time to develop a character within the script through the story, and we have an end goal in mind, but we have enough time to get the message that we want out. But when we're working with short content, we don't have the liberty of time. So how do we maximize our ability to get that message through for those little 10 seconds or 15 seconds? This came to me, this was...
Lovely question, Deep. Lovely, lovely question. How do you maximize what you have to say in 10 seconds? It's just experience and practice. Practice, practice, practice. It's not easy. It's sometimes you will have that little eureka moment like what I had when I wrote Chuma Chuma. Sometimes it doesn't happen all the time. It's just practice. You need to be at it. Many people ask me, I want a 30-second script, but they'll give me a brief which is meant for a 2.5-minute film or a 2-hour film sometimes. We want this, 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 this. What's the duration? 30 seconds. How? It's just practice. Focus on the central idea. Focus on just that one central idea which is based on that one USP, nothing else. Don't look at multiple benefits. It's not going to work. Look at all your benefits. Look at that single USP. Convert that into a benefit and use that as your creative route. Interpret it creatively. Then you have a campaign in 10 seconds. You have a campaign in 5 seconds. I'll just give you an example, a lovely example, just to prove your point. How many of you know Tamil here? How many of you know Tamil? Nobody knows Tamil. All right, I will translate it into Hindi. Okay. So there was this brand called. This happened about 15 years ago, right? So you had so you have Wheel soap, you have Rin, you have Surf, you have all these detergent bars. So back in Tamil Nadu, you suddenly had this soap called Power Soap. Okay, Power Soap, and those guys didn't have a budget. They didn't have a budget, but they had to counter. They had to take on Wheel. They had to take on Surf. They had to take on Rin, and they were priced at 1 rupee. So they called the agency and, yeah, we don't have a budget, but we believe we have a very good quality soap. How are we going to do it? What can you do for us? So the agency went to the drawing board, came up with this idea. Let's not look at women. Yes, traditionally the people who use the soap bars are women who are washing clothes. Let's not look at women. Let's look at the men. Why? Because the men are the ones who are giving them the money. This is very traditional homes, right? SECB, SECC homes, right? So they are the ones earning. So let's talk to them. So to cut the long story short, so here was a model who was selected, and he came to the camera and he said, "எனக்கு ஏன் power soap பிடிச்சிருக்கு தெரியுமா? Do you know why I like power soap? என் வருமானத்துக்கு ஏற்ற தரமான soap. It's a soap That is Varumanathakketa Tharamana soap. It fits into my earning, fits into my budget. It's a quality soap that fits into my budget. But in Tamil, it really flows beautifully. 10 seconds. He comes there, he looks at the camera. எனக்கு ஏன் பவர் சோப் பிடிச்சிருக்கு தெரியுமா? என் வருமானத்தை கேட்ட தரமான soap, power soap. Super comes in the rubai, 1 rupee. Tang tang over. That soap went right up. Rin was washed away. The same lightning that brought Rin to the table, same lightning destroyed Rin. So that's my answer to you. Anybody else? Yes, Megha. I often tell this to a lot, very good question, Megha. I often tell this to a lot of people. When you are stuck, when there are cobwebs in your mind, when there are clouds that your head is swimming in, open the doors, go walk away. Walk away from that problem. If you want a solution, walk away from the problem. Go out. Go have a chai. Go talk to a friend. Keep the idea at the back of your mind. Don't let it stress you out. I'll give you another example just to counter what you said. Again, this, in fact, there are a number of examples. Immediately what actually comes to my mind is, which one do I tell you? Okay, there are the number of examples. Okay, when I get closeted, when I get burnt down, when I get stressed out, and I'm not able to visualize, I just walk away. Example, yet another, yes, TVS rubber had this beautiful brand campaign that we had to do, right? TVS rubber manufactures those little automotive components that goes under your car's hood. You open it, you have those oil piston rings. They're one of the market leaders, right? They supply to all of them, including Mercedes-Benzes and all of them, right? So the oil seals and piston rings and all of that. So we had to come up with a. Now they had not advertised for a very, 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 very long time. And TVS Group is a very conservative group. They hadn't advertised. Now there was a tremendous pressure on me and my art partner to deliver the goods. Now we had already come up with a couple of campaigns, which they said no, one more option. Finally, they gave us 1 day for that option. Okay. Now, I took the idea with me home. I took it to the terrace. I walked on the terrace, had a cigarette, walking up and down. Suddenly, I heard somebody, there was a barat, there was a shadi ka barat aa raha tha. Dun 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 dun. Full barat. Suddenly I looked at the barat. Hey, what's the idea? What's the idea? What am I looking at? We're looking at TVS Rubber being silent achievers. They're the market leaders, nobody knows about it. We need to tell them that we are silent achievers. And this is what we've done. Then I heard the barat. My silent achiever campaign was ready. I went to the office tomorrow, I got my art partner together, had a discussion with him. We called the photographer, and this is what we did. My ad one was this visual of this guy beating the drum. That was the visual. The headline said something on those lines of how we've achieved. We do not trumpet. We are silent achievers. Then there's an ad 2 with a guy on a saxophone. The ad 3 with a guy, first was the drum, second was the saxophone, third was something else. It happened like that. You have to keep the idea at the back of your head. and then walk away. If you keep thinking about it, oh my God, chup yaar, मैं सोच रहा हूँ. It's not going to happen. That's my answer to you. Does that help? Anybody else? There's so many examples actually. I can give you this one that immediately hits me. Anybody else? Yes. No. Okay. Okay. Wait. Why do you keep banana outside your house? Who said that? Who said that? Prosperity. Absolutely brilliant. That's all. That's the answer. Prosperity. A banana is a tree. You look at weddings. Look at South Indian. I don't know about North Indian weddings, East Indian weddings, but you look at South Indian weddings. You find a banana kept. They do a little pandal and they keep one banana tree beside this gate, and they keep another banana tree beside this gate. Why? Because the couple is getting married. It's prosperity. It brings prosperity. 1. 2. You cut a banana tree. It grows back. It never dies. That's banana. It never dies. That's brought us a lot of prosperity. That's my answer to it. Yes, Rashmi.
So my question is that we discussed a lot about how to ideate something, how to mentally visualize something. When we get attached to some idea, it becomes like a baby. So when it comes to pitching it to someone for whom the idea is very new, we become very protective about the idea, and this was one of the challenges I faced while my internship in Mumbai. So sir, how to overcome this challenge? How to make the person you're pitching to also visualize in the same wavelength?
What a beautiful question. Oh my God. Thank you, Rashmi. It's something that we've all battled. All of us have battled, plagiarism. Plagiarism is something that even today exists. A lot of people take your ideas. They steal it from under your nose and you don't even know it. Some of us are so innocent. Even I can be innocent even today. It's ridiculous. But then, in our excitement, we come up with ideas and we share it. We just share it. You know what? Bhai, mujhe ek idea hai yaar. Present karu. So I say that, I share that idea with you, but you never know what happens to that idea of yours. If it gets rejected, he or she might reject it for some reason, but then 6 months later you might find the idea being used somewhere else. It happens all the time. It has happened to me, it has happened to our organization, it has happened to many other organizations that I worked before. It's something called trust. It's something called trust, it's something called belief in somebody being like you. Okay, it's you believe in the process. You believe in what you think is right. If you believe in your capability, you will present it to that person. If he doesn't like it or she doesn't like it, that's fine. If he likes it, it'll go through. If it doesn't like it, that's okay. If it gets plagiarized, if it gets lifted, if it gets copied, if it gets used somewhere, you are fighting a legal battle here, but it's not going to help anybody. That's something that the more you learn, with experience you learn how to look at people. Who's who? With this guy, be careful. With this person, be careful. Don't tell the whole thing to him. Just go on the surface of it, dangle the carrot, see if he can bite it, and withdraw. आइडिया अच्छा लगा क्या? हाँ, उसमें कुछ दम है उसमें. दिखाओ पूरा. That sort of thing. It comes with experience again. Very good question, but anybody else?
Thank you, sir, for enriching us with so many interesting insights, and thank you for your time. We've come close to the end of this session, and now I would like request Mr. Deep Sen Gupta from MA Mass Communication first year to come and give the vote of thanks.
As we come to an end of this enlightening interaction, we would like to thank our guest speaker, Mr. Narayanan Vincent, on the behalf of Dr. Father Anthony R. Uvri, SJ, Vice Chancellor, Exam University, Professor Father S. Anthony Raj, SJ, Registrar, Exam University, Father V. Arukya Das, CFO, Exam University, Dr. V. Vijay Kumar, Dean School of Communications, Dr. Arpita Saha, our CAS coordinator, our other faculty members, Professor Nirmalya Barar, Professor Anamika, Professor Jyoti Ranjan Sahu, Professor Nadira Khatun, Professor Purnima Anjali Mohanty, Professor Debrati Dhar, Professor Payal Das, and our administrative team, Ms. Caroline De Costa, Mr. Ratiram Kaka, Mr. Prabhakar Mani, and Arvind Bhaiya. And I would also like to thank the inaugural speakers, Ms. Rashmi Parekh and Mr. Andrew Vincent Gomes, for the unobstructed flow of the session. We also thank Pragyan Prasoon for delivering the brilliant creatives. We are grateful to you, sir, for teaching us about the art of observation, the art of listening to our surroundings. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule. We're truly honored for this exposure. We sincerely look forward to many more such engagements. Thank you, sir.
Really happy to be here. Really honored to be here. It's an absolute wonderful set of young people that I met today. Wish you all the very best. You want to connect with me, you want to talk to me about anything, please feel free to connect with me. I'm here to help. And or if you like to any doubts you have anytime, please feel free to help. I wish it was a little longer, but then that's okay.